Hello everybody, it's time for a video. It's been a while since I've done this, but now that I'm back in my normal home office, I can, do this with a little flair. I sort of feel like I'm in the world's most comfortable shoes right now, and in the past week I've been wearing like clogs from Holland from like the 17th century, so it is a nice feeling. But let's, during these newly bullish times, let's zip through the index charts. Some I'll blast right through, others I'll say a word or two about. Let's just go through them. Here's the All World Index. Can't make up its mind. Big bearish pattern, big bullish pattern, shot higher. That terminated at the end of July, lost all those gains from the breakout, and now the damn thing's pushing back higher again. I'm talking my book, I realize that, but the notion of this just thing going wee and flying higher seems a little unlikely to me. Could happen, anything's possible, but at the present what I'm watching is more along these lines in terms of a miniature topping pattern, and I'm seeing that all over the place, where ever since basically the entirety of June, the entirety of July, and pretty soon the entirety of August, we've just been forming this kind of summer top, as it were. But that would mean negated, basically, if it escapes this pattern. At the moment, it would make a tidy little head and shoulders pattern, but one more up day and the clarity of that's gonna vanish. Okay, what's the comp Q looking like these days? Well, looking very Fibonacci-ish. Here's the major fib level, and as you can see, that has held quite a lot of sway amongst prices. You can see support, support, failed support, resistance, resistance, down, down, down to the real low, low, and then climbing up again, and then here we are again, resistance once more, and finally repelled from that after a couple of weeks of hanging out there. So this line has power, and if we zoom in, we can see that there's a cute little price gap there. We'll see that all over the place between August 1 and 2. We're getting rather close to that. So we bottomed back on the 18th. We've been pretty much up ever since, except for that crazy Thursday Nvidia thing. But this has been recovering since that August 18 low, and since then, boy oh boy, has the world flipped bullish again. I mean, lifetime highs and new bull market are on everybody's lips again. A couple of weeks ago, they were weirdly quiet. Moving on, let's see. Should we talk about this? Dow Jones Composite, kind of the same story. There's the key, horizontal, right there. And I'm looking at these fresh, just like you are. I didn't go through these in advance. I'm just kind of offering my immediate reaction. But what's cool about this is that this level here had been resistance, changed to support, and then became resistance again. So we're right back to it. Very interesting. So weakness on Thursday would be a pretty positive sign for the bears that resistance had held. Financials, like, just again and again, there's another line, that horizontal right there, that was anchored to the price gap that took place here between the 14th and the 15th. And we sealed that gap up. We've got a nice little doji pattern right there. And I'll just say it again, Thursday, it would really help the bear. It sounds dumb to say it would help the bears if we go down tomorrow, but it actually means more than just a plain old down day. It means that important resistance levels have held. That's what it means. Nothing new there. Boring, boring. Indu, we'll just take a peek. Yeah, this is sort of the same example of, here's our bullish base. We've got our cute little topping pattern there. We fell and then pushed back. So that topping pattern is still holding. In your mind's eye, if you sort of extend the base of that, you can see that essentially constituted today's high. Nikkei, boring, NDX. Nothing really going on there. There's the gap. That's something to take note of. Let's just change it to a dashed line and make it a little more clear. But yeah, that gap should hold some sway. We're getting awfully close to it. OEX, once again, there's our old friend, the price gap, that August 1-2 gap. That really, that's meaningful. If God smiles upon us and we actually do start falling in a big way again, next major support is right there. That is a honking big support line down at 1976 on the OEX. The Russell, this one reached escape velocity. So we have pushed above the Fibonacci resistance. As you can see, ever since for a full, 16 months now, just sine wave time, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Starting to see some strength here. So I don't know if it'll finally complete the move down or what, but yeah, the Russell was quite strong. Here's the SOX, the semiconductor index. This is kind of at the mercy of whatever NVIDIA does. And this is the same kind of notion I was offering earlier with a cute little topping pattern, potentially being important. In this instance, if the highs stay below these highs, that also offers the prospect of a head and shoulders top. S&P 500, which goes back to the year 1900 here. Here we have pushed all the way back to the fib. There it is right there, 4505. And interestingly, we got quite close to this Fibonacci, down at 4311. So this is the present fib. We're right there now. But when we were falling, down, 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 we got pretty close. The low was 4335, the fib level 4311. So not too bad. A little bit of breathing room between those two, but just about banged against it. And now up we go, and we're a little bit above current fib support. The fib level, that is. Equal weighting, nothing. TASI, boring. Transport, nothing to say. Utilities, obviously, I'm always a fan. Always want to look. So far, so good. It's not going to get any pulses racing, but the good news is, in spite of massive strength lately, this thing's just picking its nose. As you can see, just doing a whole lot of nothing. And as my earlier post showed, it does tend to give me a heart attack each morning by jumping higher, but then just fizzles away. So this is holding steady, and it's the relative performance that counts here, because we've had massive moves higher, and it just kind of rolls its eyes and walks away. Mixing metaphors there. Here's the VIX, which cracked even below that gap that I had this morning. So let's just say goodbye to that. Just getting blasted to smithereens, threatening to escape even the teens. Just plain sad. No fear at all. See if there's any other charts of any interest whatsoever. XMI. Oh, another cool one. Look at this. Look at that blue line. So here we were at lifetime highs back in late July, early August. Never before seen these levels. Broke this trend line, and wouldn't you know it, look at that. Today's high. I mean, how close is it? It's almost to the 100th of a point, but extraordinarily close to pushing against that resistance line. So very cool there. XOI, it's kind of a dull one. Looking at the futures here, these are kind of the same old story. There's our little top right there. Perhaps there's our top. NQ is kind of in a weird no man's land right now. It did a beautiful tag of this Fibonacci. Look at that. That is extraordinary. Look at that hammer right there. Just almost an exact respect for the Fibonacci, and a perfect hammer candlestick, and then zoop, up it went. And RTY is still kind of a big fat mess right now. All right, well, that was an interesting whirlwind tour. Hope it was at least a little interesting.